everyone. Name it your theme song. I got to follow my flow this Friday because I am extremely excited. Happy Friday, everyone. God, y'all, we are in December. Yes, December. December the 2nd. Can you believe it? I hope you all had a wonderful holiday. I hope you were having a great time with your family and friends and making it about love and peace and unity and just giving to yourselves and your closest loved ones and then your extended loved ones as well. I am excited, guys, to say that we're on our 23rd. God, can you believe it? The 23rd episode of the Sharon Lee Briefing podcast show, guys. The 23rd episode. 23 is a powerful number. You all know I love numbers. The power of 5, the power of 9, the power of 10, 15, anything increments 5, I love it. And we're going to talk a lot about that on today's show. But, before I get into all the greatness of what we're going to share, we got some jewels and some royalty to share with you all today. But you all know I like to always start off with my ground rules, guys. I like to always share with you that I want you to do a few things for me before we get started, which is one, to share and share again, because this podcast, our 23rd podcast, has gone international, okay? And we want the world to be able to see how we do it over here on the Sharon Lee Briefing podcast show. There's several ways you can watch us, guys. You can watch us through Facebook under my Facebook group called Sharon Lee Briefing Podcast Show, or you can watch it on my YouTube channel, which is Leading Within with Sharon Lee. If you're going to comment, please do. Please ask questions, but when you comment over on Facebook, this is a ground rule, guys, make sure you put your name in the Facebook so we can know who's commenting so that we can give you shout outs and let our guest speaker know who's online watching her as well. Also, if you're over there on YouTube, you come over, you can leave comments, you can ask questions, and I'm really excited about that. Now, you already know how we do it. We start with basically just a brief introduction of who our podcast speaker is going to be. We will ask our podcast speaker a little bit about their childhood, where they're from, where they were raised, and all of that. And then we will talk about the professional side of our podcast guests on what they're doing in today's time, how they're helping people. And guess what? Then we move to the on the run story. That is the signature segment of our podcast, is understanding what opportunities that our guest speakers had to run to because they were so busy overcoming whatever challenges they may have gone through in life. And last but not least, we ask them what's up next for them and how can you all connect with them on social media. So I'm excited. We're doing our podcast show today a little early because of the time differences, international time and of course the US time. We're going to air this again too, guys, at 12 o'clock. So stay on, ask questions, but make sure to also come back because we're going to be giving some prizes away for winners who come back also at 12 o'clock. So that's a lot of ground rules, but I had to do it. And I'm excited about today. So right now, what we're going to do, we're going to ask our guest speaker to come in and just give a little bit about who she is, and then we'll get into the actual interview. Hi, Desziree, Dr. Desziree.
Oh my goodness, absolutely amazing. What a great introduction to this amazing podcast. I just love the music, Sharon Lee, and it's so beautiful because it relaxes me for the show. So thank you so much for, that beautiful and warm introduction. But I want to extend greetings to everyone who's watching this podcast from all across the world. If you're watching now or later, please share. It's a pleasure and an honor to be here today for you to get to know a bit about who I am and what I do. So I'm Dr. Desziree Richardson. I am the founder of Women of Heart Foundation, Women of Heart Awards, Face of WOHA, and Gentlemen of Heart Awards, just to name a few. And all of these amazing platforms were created and design to uplift humanity, to enlighten, to empower, to inspire, to educate, but most importantly, to celebrate all of our amazing men and women who are doing amazing things in the world and have a huge impact by making a difference. I'm also an international best-selling author, humanitarian, entrepreneur, and of course, international speaker. Thank you so much, Sharon Lee.
Well, you know what? I love it. And I love you call me Sharon Lee because that's my AKA name and I love it. So
Oh,
Sharon, I love
is it
not too
Dr. Sharon?
not too many people follow the instructions, okay? When even though I'm Sharon Parker, president of a historical organization here
Yeah.
called Remembering Our Ancestors Synergistic Association, I'm extremely excited about this international interview because I tell you, a little country girl from Calvert County wanting to, broaden my horizon and get to go to the motherland, the Caribbean, the UK. I have not had those opportunities. So to live, to hear your story today, to see how you've been so blessed to be what I call a princess, okay, a Caribbean princess, and doing what you're doing is amazing. But before we get into your actual interview, because there's so much we can share, I want to thank Mr. Williams for joining us today. So, yes,
Mhm.
Miriam Murphy, thank you for joining us. And yeah, I heard about your platform, Million Masterminds Institute President. Absolutely. I heard about you, been following you for years. So before we get into the interview, I would like to have our engineer. Her name is Chris Glenn. She's fabulous. She's with the Only Greatness Media Production, and I normally give them a shout out at the top of the show. All my sponsors. I want to thank Dana Parker, who's my niece, who created the theme song for me. Sharon Lee on the Run, that one that makes you feel good. Okay, because this is, I didn't share this earlier, but all my guests know that this podcast is about laughing, it's about learning, and it's about leading. And that's what we do. We laugh, we learn, and we lead on our platform. But I would love to give you a gift, and I do it with all our podcast interviewees. It's called a Leading Within Legacy Gift. And I would like for Chris to bring it up on the screen, keep us on the screen, because I want to see your beautiful reactions of the gift that we're going to give you. But it's a video production, hopefully capturing your journey.
Wow.
Wow. Thank
Uh,
you.
that was so beautiful and also heartfelt. So thank you to the productions team for putting this amazing production so that I can reflect on how, how far I am today. So thank you so much. Much appreciated.
You're very, very welcome. I know technology is a wonderful thing and I love it. I love the fact that, we can be on two different continents and be able to just share the journey of what people do to serve others in their community. This technology that we're using for the podcast show, I just want to make sure everything is always showing up professional and coming across clear. So, and thank you for your comments on the video production. I will also share that with you. What we do is give a YouTube link so that you can share it with your network across the country and the world as well. So just feel free, just know that that's coming to you. So let's just jump into it because I'm excited. There's so many titles that I've been reading up and you and I have spoke about who you are and what you do. But I want you to again, not go into the professional side yet, but I do want you to give some titles of what you currently do because from my perspective, you're her excellency, okay? And I want people to respect you for your title and to me you're Dr. Desziree Richardson, okay? And I want people to understand who is Her Excellency, Dr. Desziree Richardson. I want them to know your journey. I want them to know how you serve people. But before we get into that, I want them to know you. Okay. So, like, where were you born? Do you have any siblings? Where was your mom and dad from? Do you have any children? All of that, personal stuff, and you don't have to worry about getting in too personal. You don't have to talk a lot of. I know people are kind of squeamish about their kids or whatever, so you don't have to worry about sharing of pictures. But tell us who Dr. Desziree is. Her Alexis. And I'm saying that wrong, but her. I'll get it together. I'm just so excited, guys.
No, it's fine. Yes, thank
I'm gonna
you.
keep on saying it until I get it right, guys. Tell us who
Thank
you
you.
are, my dear.
Yes, yes, I'm so delighted once again and to share my journey. As a young child, from a very tender age, I saw visions of my life before my eyes, and I didn't know why I saw these visions. And so I'm a dreamer. I've come from humble beginnings. My mom and dad, we all from the same place, which is the beautiful, beautiful small island in the Eastern Caribbean. It's next to Antigua, and it's also next to St. Martin and Puerto Rico. So these are some of the major international airports where you can, hop by to get to Angola. So we're a very small island, 35 square miles, 16 miles long, and over the population by now should be around for 15,000 people. I moved to the UK. Let's say more than a decade ago, because I had these visions of my life and as a child. So going back to Angola, so yes, my mom, she was a single mom, and my dad was also born in Angola. I was also born and raised, and I've come from humble beginnings. I watched my mom work tremendously hard as a single mom to provide the best life for her children. And, coming from humble beginnings and growing up in a society, sometimes we are overlooked because we wasn't born in the right tax bracket or to the right parents who are more socially inclined.
Yes.
And so my talents was overlooked from a very tender age, but I had a vision, and that vision that I had in my heart where seeing myself on, as I still have the vision until now, seeing myself, first of all, one of the visions I will talk about is seeing myself with headphones on, not realizing that God has something for me to do in the media industry, which I end
Yeah.
up doing before moving to the UK. So my background, I was an entrepreneur. I had a business. I had a boutique. I had a hair salon. I also have my background was also as a media personality, broadcaster, commentator. So I traveled the Caribbean and North America, hosting some of the most prestigious pageants, going live on different radio stations across the Caribbean, invited to many pageants, and just to do live coverage in different Caribbean islands, and also as a on-air personality. So these are some things that I did as a person growing up from a very tender age. But besides that, like I said, I had a big vision, and my vision was I saw myself, even up to now, like just healing the world through my voice, through my abilities, and just, talking to people from a platform, and just creating that positive light and spread that light throughout the world so that the world can heal. So my journey began as a media personality, and I thought, like, wow, if a lot of people can do it and they can go and reach a wider audience and have and gain that respect, but also being able to have that finances to help, to raise their family. And this was something that I believe in. I believe that I had to move from my country to reach a wider audience. And also I want to get involved in the media industry in the UK, and also to study broadcasting at university and also college, which I attended. And before moving to the UK, I was also involved heavily in community projects, helping people in society, and also creating platforms where women from all across the Caribbean can come together and raise their voice and showcase their talents, because I was always fascinated by women's empowerment, seeing women at their best, their boldest, and of course, their brightest.
That is
Just
amazing.
something that I adored so much before moving to the UK. So this was always something that was instilled in me, to see women as unified. Yes.
And that's totally amazing. So we're going to get into the professional side, in the next segment. So thank you for sharing that. But just hearing what you're sharing about, where you're originally from, um, I'm trying to put this in the right perspective. Living over here in America, we get excited when we hear of princesses and kings, and we always refer back to Africa because we believe that's where the original princes and the kings come from. But when we look at like European, the world now, you see princesses and kings like, unfortunately, Queen Elizabeth passed away, her husband passed away. Now, King, I guess Sir Charles is the actual, king now. And then, of course, you got, Princess uh, Megan, and then you got, well, just all of the royals, as you can see. I don't even know half of them, and I should, but you got a few of them here in America now. And I'm saying I'm excited about the origin behind how one are considered princesses and kings. Can you share a little bit about that from a Caribbean and African American perspective? How does someone get identified as being a princess or a king?
I think there are people in the world that, because sometimes you can see something in someone that they don't even see in themselves.
Mm.
And I always when you know that you have a distinction or you have a greatness, then you can see that same distinction in everyone else. And I believe that everyone is great. And I believe that is not how we were born in the world. I always believe it's about what we're going to create, build, and leave behind. So as far as I'm concerned, I look at these titles, or even linked to, or having this background as royalty, and what people see in us. Sometimes we don't see things that people see in us. But for
Mm.
me, I believe that everyone, we are all equal, but I still believe that there are people that have, extra abilities to do extra things, or they are aligned, or they have a purpose to
Mhm.
do different things in the world. And I definitely believe that. I definitely get that. But I believe that we all are equal and so deserving to be, that what we meant to be in the world. And each of us, we have our own path. So when I was awarded such title,
Yes.
I asked the person, the king, who granted me this title, like, why did you, why did you, what about me that you feel that you have to bestow this title? He said that he saw something special about me, and he felt that there was some royalty in my blood, and just the way I am, and the way I come across in my energy, and this is why he chose to honor me with that title. But deep down inside, I just feel that it doesn't matter about the title, it doesn't matter about the position in life. It's about making a difference. How are you going to use these titles and make a difference? And what is success to me is not about Her Excellency or Her Royal Highness or anything like that. It's about what are we doing to make a difference in this world in terms of a positive impact. What are we doing to help change the world? What are we doing with all of these positions and roles? Because I believe that we all have a role to play in this world, and this is either to build or to destroy. So each of us has a role to play, which is pivotal. And by having these positions, do we use it as the power for the love of power or the power of love? So, what do you do with yourself as someone that everyone looks up to, as a king or a queen or part of a monarchy? What are you doing to bring that unity into the world is so important. It's not about the success, it's not about the luxury and the cars and all of the attention that you get. What makes a person successful is the changes that he are making or she is making in other people's lives. And that is so important. And to me, success is when people can come to us and tell us, oh my goodness, Dr. Sharon Parker, by your interview today and by hearing that message, you have saved my life from even committing suicide. You have, changed the way I think and my mindset. So for me, it's great that people can see certain things in us that we don't see in ourselves, and
Yeah.
that is beautiful. And we do have people like that in that world that can give us that reassurance that you are here to make a difference. Your qualities that I saw in you as a person that you can share with the world. That is beautiful.
Well, I tell you, that is a perfect response. That is so perfect. And let me tell you how timely that response is. When we think about the Princess of Wales being here, the Prince and the Princess of Wales being here in America today, I think they were in Boston on the East Coast at a I believe a football game or something, or baseball game. I didn't watch, but when you think of the Duke of Suffolk being on the West Coast here, who of course came from the UK to live now in America, when you think of four individuals who have some unlimited powers to change things for the better, those are the people that we want to have those titles, those kings and queens, not for the status, but for the work that they do or will do, and their next generation will do, to of course save humanity and unify people and be diverse in their thinking, and just to give, because there's so much going wrong on in the world. I don't think anything at this time in life should be about glamour and fashion all the time. It should be about, here's what I'm doing to help these individuals because they're going through that. And you are doing that. And that is the reason why I wanted you on the show. That's the reason why I'm honored that I had Dr. Teresa Mosley on a couple of weeks ago before we broke for the holiday, and she
I
introduced
just love her. I
you
just love
to
her.
me.
Mhm.
And when I went on your website and I reached out to you, I knew you had to be on this show because we just coming back from the vacation. And what better way than to start the month of December off? Everyone, a lot of people celebrate over here Christmas and all of that, but what better way to start the month of December off than starting off with giving of people from your heart, giving because you want to, not because you expect something in return. So with that being said, we're going to take a little break because I want to give away a couple of gifts to some people, because if you all are tuned in on this interview today. Believe me, you are among the luckiest because this is our first, again, international podcast from the UK, and I'm extremely happy to say this is what it's all about. For those who have not gotten to Africa, the Caribbeans, or London, you can have real talk with a princess who currently lives in London. But based on my research, I think you've been there since 2008, right?
Yeah, wow. You've actually done your research, but yeah, before you go into when you after you come from commercial break, I do have a quote that I want to say, and it is so amazing to say this quote here.
Okay, well, I tell you what, let's say the quote now, and then we'll go into break after that. Because I mean, right now, this is so much great energy. And keep in mind, guys, this is about laughing, learning, and leading. So we want the energy to stay high. We want to have a good time because it's Friday, which is my favorite day of the week. So definitely share your quote.
Yes, I always say, the greater his heart, the greater his kingdom. The greater his kingdom, the greater his people. The greater his people, the greater society. The greater society, the greater the children. The greater the children, the greater the world, and the greater the next generation.
Oh my God, you got me. Look, we're gonna have to go to break because I'm gonna be in tears in a minute. Guys, we're going to break this, but I love that synergy, guys. You know me. You know I love that synergy. And when anyone use keywords that just really excite me, I like to correlate all of the messages. So, 5 years ago, I wrote my book, and it's called True Synergy Work, Leading Within, the 7 Defining Principles of Knowing Yourself to Birth Greatness. That is a perfect quote to align with what that is all about. That's it right there. And I can't wait for you all to hear this and share this some more. So, Chris, could you do me a favor and bring in the 5-year book video, that promo that we put out there, because I want them to look at that, because this year 2020 2 marks the 5th year since I wrote my book, which was written back in 2017. And the reason why I'm sharing this now, guys, is because of having Dr. Desziree on, talking about history, talking about greatness, talking about legacy, talking about, being a princess and doing it for others is what the book is all about. I just did it from an American perspective. And I just hope, Chris can, bring that up and share that. And then for those who can remember a few things from the book, who purchased my book, I am not only going to give you a prize. Okay, you're going to win a free seat to the 10th annual Leading Within conference that's going to be held in Puerto Rico in 2023. So when Chris bring that video up, she can keep me on the screen. I want her to, and let me know, Chris, if you need a little bit more time, because if not, we can move on to the next segment, what we're going to talk about. So please bring that video up for me. Hold on, Dr. Desziree. We're going to get her to bring it up, and then we're going to jump in.
Synergy, energy, living legends are reaching me, sharing knowledge with you and me, teaching us how to lead with Sharon Lee.
Chapter 5. My Mother's Story, the Parker Estate. There is an old saying that when you go home, your family will take you in and care for you. But what if there isn't a home to go back to? Sharon Parker. Thinking of
Synergy, energy, living legends are reaching me, sharing knowledge with you and me, teaching us how to lead with Sharon Lee.
All right. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Chris. Dr. Desiree, this is what we're all about. And that last quote, you have no idea how timely that was and how it aligns perfectly to what we are trying to do over here in America, which is to teach professionals, teach our elders, teach our next generations how to come together and find out what we have in common and work for the betterment of society. So again, I'm excited to have you guys. Those who are out there listening, let me ask you something. If you can tell me where Dr. Desiree is originally from, put it in the comments. If you can tell me what she said, where she's originally from, I am going to give you a free ticket to, you got to pay your own airfare and get your own hotel stay, but you'll get a free ticket to the 10th annual, what I call a Leading Within conference. So we're going to wait for them to, those who are, sharing and watching, to put that in the comment. At this point in time, Desiree, we're going to go into the second segment of the podcast show, which is your professional side of you. Now, I know you shared a lot about why you're doing what you're doing. I know you shared, where you're from, where your family is from, where you live now. But now I want to get into the heart, okay, of the business side of you. You shared a little bit about you being in the media, having a media voice. You definitely shared about what you do as it relates to women. But let's now just bring it full circle. Share with us the different businesses you have again, and what do those businesses and platform do?
My heart is really for humanity as a humanitarian, also as a servant leader. I feel it is my desire, to help as many people as I possibly can. I just feel that it's in my soul. It's my soul purpose. And what makes me happy is to see smiles on other people's faces and to know that love is beautiful, especially when it's shared in multiplicity and it is shared without being judged or being questioned, where there's no limitation to just a few, where all of us can come together and, play our part to make the world a better place. And this is something that I enjoy doing most. So I've created some amazing platform to do that. I am the founder of Women of Heart Foundation, and Women of Heart Foundation platform is to help many women and children in poor remote countries around the world, and also to help raise awareness about the importance of volunteering in your community. Because I believe that volunteering is so crucial and is much needed, and there's so many things that you can get and derive from being a volunteer, because this can help you in the future in your job prospects, because you will gain the experience and the knowledge to expand your self-development to help you along the way in whatever career that you wanted to have. And this has helped me even create such platforms as Women of Heart Foundation, from my experience at university, being a project leader and leading projects in the community, from planting trees at Gunsbury Park, which I think they're all grown up big trees by now, and to really, to get people actively involved in community development. And I was able to do that through leadership at the University of West London, where I had a variety of volunteers coming into the university from inside of the university, but also from outside. We do one-day challenges, and I was able to put on a show called Women Involvement Charity Concert, which raises funds for Future Sense charity that helps children in places like Asia and Cambodia. And before doing that, I was also heavily involved in a lot of charity work with big organizations such as, Have a Heart Appeal, the Classic Foundation, Help a Capital Child, also liaison with MPs, and communicating as a UNICEF Children's Champion. And this is something that that gives me joy to help and to give back and to make a difference. And by having women involvement charity concert, and of course, where I had women come in from across the UK, displaying their talents, through empowerment speeches, through, playing saxophone, piano, doing storytelling. It was all about creating that awareness that yes, women can work together, women can, come together and empower other women, because I believe that there are many women out there that needs the empowerment and needs to have that platform and that space to, to bring their skills and their abilities to the forefront. And this is what I was doing through, through university, and it's something that I always, as I said in the beginning, that I was always fascinated by. And after taking a break, from community development, and after I had my kids here in the UK, I had to come back. And, after a few years, and because they were my priority at the moment, to come back and do the things that I love, and which is why I was able to create Women of Heart Awards, which I'm going to talk about, which derived from Women Involvement Charity Concert. So after coming back, and wow, how can I continue to empower women, but also create that space for us to unite? And through this platform, WOHA was born, because from WICA, which was supposed to be Women Involvement Charity Concert and Awards, and that name was already taken. I was like, oh my God. So how can I create a platform that find a beautiful name that resonate with heart? And Women of Heart Awards was born. And then I said to myself, how can I give back? What can I do to give back? And that's how Women of Heart Foundation was created. So it took me a few years to get Women of Heart Foundation, off the run. We've done projects in Liberia, Uganda, Nigeria, Kenya, and different African and Asian countries that I were heavily involved with, even going there, and and doing sanitary napkins campaign, cooking, teaching women that work in the what do you call it, in the where they take care of kids. I forgot to what
daycares and
orphanage. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, in the orphanage, how to cook Caribbean food, and just having that time to really help and to really give back and to empower women through this amazing Women of Heart Foundation. But also as an individual, I was able to have master classes in Kenya with university students, and just doing the work, to help as many people as I possibly can through these platforms that I created. And one thing about Women of Heart Awards, what makes us unique and different, is that we are a celebration. We are an award ceremony where we celebrate, empower, inspire, because we believe that every woman's story needs celebrating, is equally important and needs celebrating, and using these stories from these women to to help create that social change, to also help to raise awareness about using heart, working from the heart space, helping many other women as we possibly can, and take that all across the world. Because I believe that as an organization, we believe that it is important to unite women. It doesn't matter, their age, or their background, or their religion, or the color of their skin, because we don't see skin at WOHA, we see heart. And that's the message that we need to spread across the world, is that WOHA is about unity. It's about celebrating women. And yes.
And we totally understand it, and we get it. But I want to just ask a couple of questions, because what I've seen, what Dr. Teresa Mosley has shared with me, you don't just this is not no low end kind of event that you put on. When I talk about royalty and everything, you put on very top notch okay, events. And this year, I believe on the 14th of November, you held
Mhm.
your event.
The 12th of November. Yeah.
The 12th of November. Where did you
Mhm.
host the event at? And because you brought, I saw women from all over the country, and in your promos and everything. So you put on very, very elegant events, guys. I'm talking in London. Y'all, are y'all hearing me? Okay, she puts notch events. Now, where was it held?
So Warha this year, which is Warha 88 London. So I'll ask all of the women who are watching, to spread this awareness that we are celebrated because we want to bring more love and kindness into our world. We want to speak that in everyday lives, in our everyday life. So Warha is womenofheartawards.com. So if you visit our website, you can actually nominate women that you know that are deserving of these prestigious awards. And this was held at the Leonardo Royal Hotel, Tower Bridge, London. Yeah, it was a phenomenal event, and the response that I received, that people said to me that I felt healed coming to your event. It was a beautiful, beautiful night, and people are already saying that we're coming back. And these are some women who already have the awards, but just to be in that beautiful space and that energy, they was like, okay, Desiree, you need to set a date so we can book early. So the date is set for November 18th. So mark your calendar, November 18th in London. And if you're a woman from the humanitarian world, a philanthropist, a humanitarian, an activist, if you're a woman who are championing good causes across the world for fighting from equality,
Yes.
to being a grassroots woman who were, creating that change, a policy maker, whoever you are, that are making a huge impact in our world. We want you. We want to honor you. We want to celebrate you. We want to say thank you.
And that's what it's all about, guys. You all have just heard it. We're talking about a true international synergy builder, guys. What I call here a legacy builder. Anyone that brings someone together to share their story, to celebrate them, especially those who are doing the work of love and service for girls, moms, dads, just a whole family. Anyone that brings you together on international platform in excellence, guys. Okay, it's someone that we want to get to know, not just here in America, but all over the world. And that's the reason why we are excited about this interview today. Dr. Resonate with Desiree, what we're going to do is put up another advertisement, and then we're going to go into your on the run story. I want you to think clearly about what that on the run story is. Okay, I want you to be transparent on what things may have happened maybe when you were younger that you felt like, you know what, I'm not going to let this hold me back anymore. I'm going to develop myself, and I'm going to start running to opportunities. Whatever that on the run story is, we can't wait to hear it. So with that, thank you, Chris, for putting I still can't get the word out my mouth right. This is why we laugh, guys, on this show, because Sharon Parker, aka Sharon on the Run, is a trip. Her Excellency, Dr. Desziree Richardson. Okay, so with that being said, guys, Chris, if you can bring up the Rosa's 5-year, not the one that we just showed, but the Rosa's promo video, I want to share with the community, guys. We are celebrating, I say again, our 5th year anniversary of me writing my book. But I didn't write my book just to talk about me. Okay. I wrote my book, True Synergy Work, because God allowed me to do what I'm doing now, which is to come out of my comfort zone and reach out to people and get to learn about people all over the world so that we can educate our youth, our professionals of today, and our elders. So I wrote about it 5 years ago. And just like Dr. Desziree said, that she had these dreams. God has given us all this power that we need to understand how to use. And the dreams are part of that power. And if you can turn your dreams into reality, and then you can create products and tools and services. You're doing what he wants. Okay, that's what projects is all about, guys. Talking it, planning it, walking it, and then living it. So I've been able to walk what I wrote about 5 years ago, and I don't take that lightly. So you saw the video earlier, but I want Chris to show the Rosa video, because that is also what we've been working on over here for the last 15 years. Another Power of Five increment, guys, of why I like to serve the community. So Chris, if you could bring up the Rosa's promo video, please. Thank you, Chris. I tell you guys, if you all only knew all the hard work that goes, and I know Dr. Desziree know all of the hard work, especially these days and times, that goes into bringing people together, trying to combat all the negative stigma that's out there, preventing people from coming together, for our youth, for our professionals, for our elders of all, cultures, all nationalities. If you only knew how much work it took, you would really, really, really say, you know what? These two ladies, they're not talking about it. They're being about it, because we know how important it is, how love is important, and how love can overcome and conquer anything. And don't you know we need more love in this world today? So I'm excited to just share a little bit about what we do over here and the reason why we host this podcast show. You all already know we're on our 10th conference coming up. We've already done numerous workshops in the DMV, and this is another platform that we want to get to know people who are living, not just those who have been leaders in the past who may no longer be with us. We want to get to know people out there internationally and also in the United States who are giving back to society. So, Dr. Desziree, your On the Run story. This is a very, very signature component of our podcast show. Why we do this? Because we want young people to understand everyone that's doing great things don't always they don't start off with everything given to them, money, fame, the ability to speak and to create products or whatever. They have to grow. Share with us what's your On the Run story, and share how you took that story and created the opportunity that you're creating for others today.
Oh my goodness. All my life, all I known was to love, to give love, and to be kind. I was never thought about self-love and how to love myself. So for the last couple of years, as a teenager going into an adult, I never knew how to love myself. All I known all my life was to love everyone around me and to continuously spread kindness. And people saw that and they took advantage of that. They actually took advantage of my kindness, and that was my weakness. But with that said and done, as I continue on my journey in life, I've learned how to let go. To let go of any situation or any person or anybody who feel or who tells you that you're not enough. And I was told that I'm not enough. I was told that you're not beautiful. I was told that you're not going to amount to be anything. I was told that you can't even speak. Your voice is horrible. I was told every negativity thing that you can ever think of. But then I asked myself, who are you? And when I listened to myself and I listened to all of these beautiful audios that displayed the ability that I have, I was like, wow, there's more beyond the thought. There is more beyond what others are telling you. Because I believe that the reason why that some of us have been told all of these, I wouldn't use the word hateful, because hateful is a very strong word. But all of these unpleasant things that people are saying to us is because there's something that is special and unique and so powerful. That's why we've been told that we're not enough. But I want to say to you, when I realized that I'm more than enough, when I had to look back at what the challenges that I was facing, and 5 words actually changed my life. And these words were, take care of your emotions. Those words that I've heard changed my mindset, changed my way of thinking. And those words that I've heard, and these very own words, made me the person that I am today. I took my power back and I stand up and I look in the mirror and said, you're more than enough.
Wow. That's
Go and shine your light into the world where there is enough abundance for everyone. It doesn't matter what they say you are. And this is a quote from somebody else. It's about who you believe you are. And one of my quotes goes like this. It's not what they tell the world who you are. You show the world who you are. So never underestimate your ability to shine in a world filled of endless possibilities of opportunities.
And
because
and guys, that's really what it's all about. Dr. Desziree, we got a few minutes left. I definitely want to find out what's coming up next for you and how people can connect with you. But let me tell you, you have a very, very beautiful voice. You have a very calming, settling voice that is needed in this world today. I am so honored again to have you as a guest. It's not that's right. It's not about what you tell the world. It's what you show the world, and you've been doing that. We look forward to your what's coming up next for you, and you hit it on the head.
Yes, I want to invite women from all across the world, your face, your voice, and of course, your message to the world. So, if
Yes.
you're a woman that you want to help the world heal, join me for Face of War. Become the Face of Women of Heart Awards. Get in touch by sending us your information, and then we'll be in touch on how you can represent your country, how you can be the voice and the flag of your country, to be the face, the voice, and of course to help the world heal through your message. So we invite diverse leaders, inspiring speakers, international speakers, whatever shape or form you are, because we believe that every woman deserves a chance, and we definitely leave the door unlocked so that we all women can have the same opportunities. And what next for me is that I'm going to continue on this path to help the world heal, using my voice and my platforms as a vehicle to help the world change. Thank you so much.
Now, how can people reach out to you on social media? How can they connect with you?
Yes, you can visit my website, www.desziree.com. So that's DESZIREE.com. Also, I'm all across social media, Facebook and Instagram as Desziree Richardson, LinkedIn, Dr. Desziree Richardson, and of course, my email address is desiree.richardson@gmail.com.
That is amazing. Guys, wasn't this a fabulous interview, international interview? I can't wait for it's going to air again at 12 o'clock, Dr. Desziree. So it's 12 o'clock my time, probably 5 o'clock your time. But if you want to, make comments in the chat from people who will be watching again, feel free to reach out to them. They're going to be still tuned in internationally. If you could stay behind for just 2 more minutes, we want to do a behind the scene green room photo shoot with myself and the engineer, and then we'll let you go. I know you got to get to your children to get them out of school or whatever. So just know that just give us a couple of minutes. But guys, this is what it's all about. The Sharon Lee Briefing Podcast Show. We show up, for you, honestly. We love having fun. We love having a good time. But most importantly, we love learning about people like Dr. Desziree Richardson and sharing her and others that we've had on our podcast show around the world. Guys, we will be back next Friday at our regular time, which is going to be 12 o'clock p.m. We're going to do the whole month of course, December. We're going to break for Christmas, but then we're going to come back in 2023 with a whole new series, and you are going to love it. I'd like to always thank our sponsors again. Thank you, Crystal, for always showing up. Greatness Media Production. Thank you, Dana Parker, for being our creator of our theme song. Thank you, Sharon Parker, for doing our lighting and everything at the studio. And also thank you, Lisa Dev Washington, for sponsoring and supporting Rosa for the last 13 years that we've held our events or whatever. Guys, you all are loved. Look forward to seeing you back next Friday. Chris, take us out. Dr. Desziree, stay around for 2 more minutes, and we'll take a photo shot and let you go. So, guys, have a wonderful Friday. Be safe. Enjoy the weekend. And remember to go and get your copy of my book, True Synergy Work, Leading Within, the 7 Defining Principles of Knowing Yourself to Birth Greatness, because we're celebrating the power of 5 year. And this month is the last month for us celebrating because it's the end of 2022. Guys, have a great weekend. Bye-bye.